Most RVers think of staying ahead on maintenance means they need to know everything. That's actually not what makes the difference. The people who avoid the expensive problems do quite a few consistent things all the time without even thinking about it. If some of this sounds familiar, you're already doing better than you think. The first thing you need to do is you fix your patterns, not your problems. What most RVers do is they wait for things to break, they fix it, and they move on. What being ahead looks like is noticing your patterns. All your campers have an attitude, they have a personality, and you gotta learn their patterns and what they do. So you kind of look at like this breaker trips when this happens. This slide sounds different when it's humid. This tire will lose pressure between whatever, and you can kind of insert the things. And when you start noticing these things, you start understanding how your camper's behaving while you're camping. One thing I've noticed on our camper is when we camp a lot, and we do camp a lot, and we're moving a lot, and it gets hot and dry, and the moisture kind of starts just kind of getting icky, our slides will sound like a pissed off banshee. And when they do that, I get my lube out and I lube my slides. And then they sound like a heavenly orchestra of creaks as they come in. So it's like the little things that you pay attention to, like, you know, getting to know the patterns, like when your camper is doing what, such a big deal. It's just staying ahead. You don't panic, you're just paying attention. Most RV failures aren't sudden. They're just repeat offenders that get ignored. If you've ever said that this always happens and you've actually looked into why it happens, you're already ahead. The second sign that you're ahead of most RVers is that you're inspecting things that are still working. Most RVers say if it's not broke, don't fix it. Ahead RVers will open their electrical panel even when everything's working. They'll check their seals before they leak, and they'll look at their suspension, their brakes, their roof between seasons. One thing I do every time I get fuel, and this is just something I do, and this is so easy to do, and you're not doing anything anyway, and you've been sitting on your butt for 400 miles because you have a 50-gallon fuel tank in your Dodge Ram, and you need the exercise, is I keep this little temperature gun in my door pocket, and I will get out while I'm pumping fuel, and I will walk back here, and I will look at my camper, and I look at my wheels, and it's cold as balls in here, so don't mind me, and I will take my little light, and I will look at my hubs, and I will do this and get a temperature reading. They're 29 degrees a day because that's about what it is outside. And I will walk and do all four wheels. I don't know what the temperature's supposed to be. I'm not an over technical guy. But if I've got one that's way different than the others, I might have a problem. And here's why that's important. I'm doing this where I'm getting fuel. Typically at a truck stop. I'm in a safe spot if I got to work on something. I'm not waiting till I'm out on the side of the road. Something else I'll do, I'll just take my hand. Be careful that you don't get a wire in your hand if you got really bald tires. And I'll just rub my hand across the tire, just like that. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm looking for a lump, a bulge, a knot as we call them, just to make sure that I'm not having tire issues. Something else that I'll do, and this is why I'm getting fuel, because I'm not doing anything else but waiting for that stupid nozzle to go click and be $200 poorer. And as I'll walk back here to my handy dandy, beautiful bike rack, and I just do this, give it a shake, look at it. Just give it a quick look. The pin's still in it. It's not about to fall off. These are very simple little tools that I will do while I'm walking around and getting fuel. And something else, I'm just kind of looking at my camper. Is everything where it's supposed to be? Are my slides still shut? I stick my hand behind my slides, seals are still tight, nothing's going on crazy there. Looking at my other wheels, doing my temperature, everything's good. Lug nuts are still on it. It's a good day. Everything's closed, shut, good, locked up. And honestly, it takes about that long to do that trip, to do that inspection every time you get fuel. So I'm saying all that to say is like, it's the little things that you do ahead of time that make all the difference. Why this matters is failures don't happen during inspections. They happen between trips. If you're looking for problems instead of waiting for them, you're already ahead. The third thing is you know your RV's weak spots. Most RVers treat every RV the same. Ahead RVers know the rig's known issues, whether it's frame flex if you have a Grand Design, or I'm joking by the way, kinda. Slide mechanism quirks, roof material limitations, appliance models with common failures. If you know those weak spots and you already know what's gonna happen, or you kinda know what to expect, guys, you're ahead of the game. You don't need a list. I might argue with you on that one. Every RV has a personality, and most of them have a few bad habits. Preventive maintenance only works when it's personalized to your RV. If you can name 2 or 3 things on your camper, RV, whatever it is, that you can say I should keep an eye on, guys, you're already ahead. The fourth thing is you maintain for time, not miles. Most RV advice online is based on mileage, and they base it on full-time RV use. And the reason they do that is mileage is a set point. And so it's kind of like when you pull it this many miles, you need to check this. Guys, that's not how you should do this. Ahead RVers understand their RV. Most of the time they sit more than they move. They age from time, not use, and it's exposed to weather more than smooth. Examples of this is replacing hoses before they fail, lubricating your slide seals before they drought out, cycling your appliances in your off season. For example, I just put these slides out inside our storage unit. Fortunately, we have a big enough storage unit that I can do it. One thing you can pay attention to, and the reason I say, you know, the checklists you give are based on miles and not use or time, is every camper has a sheet in it, the preventive maintenance schedule. They all have them. You just got to look for it, and it will tell you kind of what to expect. It tells you when you should check your slide seals, how often you should check your roof. Guys, if your camper sits outside, you should walk your roof probably once a month, maybe every 60 days. If it stays inside, like we keep ours, actually I walk my roof a lot because I'm always just fiddling with stuff. But you should always get no less than twice a year. Make sure you're taking care of the maintenance based on time, not necessarily mileage. The part-time campers that don't move a lot, they don't get used a lot, they will always fail quietly. Things from like dry rot, corrosion, mildew, moisture, all that stuff just adds up over time, and it just kills your camper. Ahead RVers will say, I'm going to look at this, or I'm going to do this just because it's been a while. If you're doing this, guys, you're already ahead. The fifth thing is you prep before trips, not after the problem. Most RVers discover the issues after they arrive. Ahead RVers, and guys, I've talked about this, you have a pre-trip rhythm. You do this so you don't have issues when you get there, hopefully. Guys, I've kind of already went over this, but it's not like a long inspection. It's things that we're doing anyway. So you should always be checking your tire pressures, your seals, make sure things are closed. One thing I do when I walk around my campers, I'm getting fuel, is I look at my wet bolts and my hangers, make sure they're all kind of sitting in the same space. I do this before I leave the house. I do this when I get fuel. So if you think about it, when you stop and get fuel and you're sitting there for a minute, that trip is kind of stopped, and you know there's no reason not to do a quick 3-minute pre-trip while you're getting fuel, because your trip's getting ready to start again. So it's the same. So you're just looking at your slide seals. You're looking to make sure you don't have water coming out from underneath your camper and you have water issues or plumbing issues, because these things pound going down the road. So just doing these little pre-trips, and you can do 2 or 3 pre-trips every time you stop or every time you go camping and you're getting fuel. Think about it. A trucker will do a pre-trip when he leaves his house. When he gets up in the morning and gets ready to leave wherever he spent the night, he does a pre-trip. He also does an inspection every time he gets fuel. If it's good enough for the professional drivers to do it, guys, it's good enough for us to do it. And guys, it doesn't have to be a long inspection. It just needs to be consistent. And the more you do it, the more you know what you're looking for. Most stressful RV situations come when you're tired, you're hungry, and believe it or not, you're already parked. If you catch a problem in your driveway, you're already ahead. Man, they're cold. They're like, come on, Bessie. You wanna come out? Number 6, guys, is that you don't rely on memory anymore. This one is subtle, but it's so good. Most RVers will say, I'll remember that. Ahead RVers keep notes. They log noises. They know when things are replaced. They track fixes and upgrades. Guys, as we get older, it's harder and harder to do. And we put together a road ready logbook that help you do a lot of this. It keeps up with things like PSIs and part numbers and axle part numbers. You can write down your wheel bearing part numbers, torque specs. You make notes on things you've done, and you keep it up, and it's a real simple PDF. You print it out, fold it up, throw it in your toolbox. When you do something, pull it out, jot it down, throw it back in the toolbox, and you have all that stuff. It keeps you from having to remember things. Maintenance gaps come from forgetting, not neglect. But if you've ever thought, wait, did we already fix that? And you look and you've written it down, guys, you're already ahead. If you're a new RVer, an experienced RVer, you know, having a little tune-up on how you do things is not a bad thing. I'm not an overly technical guy, but I go through these things all the time, and I'm a creature of habit. I pay attention to stuff. It's kind of part of my job for what I do for a living. So anyway, if you think this is helpful, leave us a comment. I'm curious what you do to kind of get through your process. What do you do to stay ahead? And you know what? We can all learn from each other. Rotary logbook in the description. If you're a new RVer, we have a must-have checklist also in the description. Click the link that puts you on our email list, helps you keep up with us. We'd love to hear from you. Also, a fantastic resource of information, and it's well worth the spend, is join our members base camp. Guys, there are so many good conversations that happen in there, advice, talking about things, and it's a judgment-free zone. It's like Planet Fitness, and it's way less noisier than Facebook. The cool part about it is when someone starts a topic and it starts a thread, you don't lose it. It stays in that thread and you can kind of go back to it. Unlike Facebook, where you have someone commenting, you lose the comment because Facebook wants you to buy something from them. Guys, I'm not sure when this is coming out, but it's gonna be closer to camping than it is today. We're expecting 8 inches of snow this weekend. So get your campers ready, get your stuff done. Let's go camping. Hopefully we see you on the road. Like and subscribe.